Hi everyone, welcome back. A very warm good evening to all of you and welcome to Lakshya NEET 2027 batch. A very warm welcome to all of you. Hi everyone, hi. How are you all? Quickly let me know in the chat box. Also let me know if I'm clearly visible and audible. Good evening. A very warm welcome to all of you. Hi everyone, hi. How are you all? Quickly let me know in the chat box. Also, let me know if I'm clearly visible and good evening. Hi everyone. Hi. How are you all? We are going to start in 2 minutes. Let's wait so that everyone can join. And then we are going to start our class 12th. We are going to start Lakshya NEET 2027 batch. And this year we are starting Lakshya batch in pure English because of your demand, because of your so much of demand, right? Me, Ambika ma'am and Prithviraj sir are going to take Lakshya NEET 2027 batch, and I'm going to, for the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about how our preparation is going to go on, how we are going to study, how much we are going to study, how you should study. There might be lots of questions in your head. You're coming from class 11th. Class 11th might be a shock to you, right? After class 10th. So first we'll discuss how we should move from here, right? We are starting at absolutely correct time. Right now it's today it's 20th April. We have got ample amount of time to cover each and everything, but before that let's make up a plan, right? Just 2 more minutes, then I'm going to start. Settle down, take out your notebooks, take out your pen, brace yourself, fasten your seat belts, right? It's going to be a smooth ride, but you are going to enjoy it. I have small basics in physics. See, before starting electric charges and fields, definitely I'm going to start today. I'm going to teach you something, but before teaching it, I'm going to interact with you. I'm going to answer your concerns. I'm going to write down your concerns over here. I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to give you some prescriptions also, right? You guys are going to become future doctors. So doctors don't just advise, right? Doctors give advices, but doctor also prescribe things, and those are mandatory. So there are some prescriptions, there are some advices, there are going to be some suggestions, there are going to be some tips and tricks. So there are going to be lots of things coming from me, Ambika ma'am and Prithviraj sir. So that is why I'm saying brace yourself, just wait, let's wait for just 1 more minute and let's then begin, right? I can see both excitement. Yeah, that would be really nice if you are going to write down in the chat box from where you are actually having this class, right? So somebody is from Vizag. Sorry, I'll take some time to memorize your name, where do you live, but I guarantee you within 1 month I'm going to memorize each one of your names. Voice is not audible. I think I'm audible. Not audible. Okay. Audio crash. All right, I'll ask audio. Check. Voice problem in app. I think on YT it's fine. Huh? Just a second. You're from Bangalore, Andhra, Najun, good. Okay, so where's that? Let me know. I think my voice is all good from here. We are checking. Hold on. You're from Bangalore, great place. Kurnool, Sajid, all right. Sajid from UP. Hi, Sajid. All right. Now, okay. Now everything's fine, right? Great. Actually, it's slightly auspicious that if something breaks in the first class, so it's fine. Hassan, oh my God, we have got lots of names. That's really good. Hyderabad, UP, Tamil Nadu. My dear friends, I'm going to speak with each one of you. So please don't mind. Right now, chat is moving a little fast for me. First of all, a very warm welcome to all of you to Lakshya NEET Lakshya NEET English batch. The most important thing is this is going to be a pure English batch, and my name is Subrat Sharma. I'm going to teach you physics. I am teaching physics for last 10 years, right? So in these 10 years, I've also taught mathematics also, but my core forte, my core command is in physics. So right in these days, I do not teach maths, but for at least for like 3 or 4 years, I have taught maths to 11th and 12th class students, and I've also taught to various international students of various countries, right from USA, Dubai, and all sorts of Middle Eastern countries. I've taught students from European countries, right? I am in PW for more than 2 years. I have taken Yaqeen batch last year, and this year I'm taking your batch. So this was a small introduction about myself. I have done my bachelor's in electronics and communication, and while in this journey you're going to get to know a lot about me. What do I do in my free time, right? I think some of you might get it. What do I do in my free time? So but before that, in the first part of this lecture, I'll keep it very simple. I'll start with NEET exam. I'll give you the perspective of NEET exam. How do I look at this exam? I have been teaching for NEET competitive exam and for JEE exams for more than now 10 years. So I'm going to give you the perspective. I'm going to explain you the difference between NEET exam, JEE mains exam and JEE advanced exams, and what it really takes to crack NEET, right? This is the foremost question, and then definitely I will keep this session super interactive. I am not going to skip your doubt. See, whenever I'm looking at the camera, I can't see your chat, and sometimes your chat moves, right? You know how it works. So what you need to do is you just let me know, ki sir, I have asked this thing. Can you please? You just have to rewrite your query again, right? That's how simple it is. So the first thing that I want to write is, I want to start with is that what it takes to crack NEET. In this journey, in this 1 year, I know how precious your time is. Your time is far more precious time than me. Although I take classes all day long, but still your time is super precious. So I'm never going to waste the time of the class. But don't think that the class time is only for academics. We are going to talk about academics 99% of the time, but for that 1%, we are going to also talk. I want to know about you. You might have some questions about me, and in that 1% time we are going to also talk about how our preparation should move, in what direction it should move. If you are facing some difficulty, if you are not getting good marks in your mock exams, so what are the changes that should be done in your strategy? We are going to talk about all of these things. So please do not mind when we are discussing these things. These things are equally important, right? Having said that, I am assuring you that 99% of the time in my class, we are going to only talk about academics, and I can say the same thing for Ambika ma'am and Prithviraj sir also, right? So what does it take to crack NEET? What is the foremost requirement? The foremost requirement is, according to me, it is you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent, right? I mean, please understand this one thing, that NEET or any competitive exam, this is I guess probably the very first competitive exam of your life. You might have given NTSC, you might have given NDA or any other exam, but I can say it for 99% of the students that this is your first competitive exam, right? And I mean, you might give it again, although I'm going to discuss what it takes to crack NEET for the very first time in the class 12th, right? And definitely we are going to do, we are not going to leave any stone unturned. We are going to move in each direction so that we can crack NEET in the very first attempt. But again, let's come back to the topic. This is going to be your very first competitive exam. Whenever you are going to ask to any student, to any faculty who are preparing for NEET exam or who are helping student for any competitive exam, they are going to say the first thing that you have to be consistent. It couldn't be like that you're studying for like 10 and 12 hours for one weekend, and then for the next weekend you have taken off, you have gone to some trips, you have gone to some weddings, and for another week you have said ki, okay, it's too much now, let me just loosen up a bit, let's play soccer, let's play PS4, let's play GTA 6 if GTA 6 comes before NEET 2027, right? So the foremost thing is be consistent, right? Because if you are consistent, then we can actually track our progress. We can really get to know what we are doing and what else we can add into our preparation, what we can actually omit if that is not that efficient in our preparation, right? So the first thing is be consistent. The second thing is you have to have a plan or strategy. In this thing, everything else will come. That means from where you want to study, that means the educational platform, right? So I think you have taken that decision, and I can guarantee you that you are not going to think for a single day that, sir, I think we took a wrong decision over here. I think it would have been better that if we were in some other institute. I'm not comparing institute. Almost all institutes are good. All teachers do their best. But I will assure you that this year for Lakshya 2027 batch, me, Ambika man and Prithviraj sir, and then there is a hell lot of team behind us three, we are going to make sure that this is the best decision of your till life, right? Of your life till date. So this is first. Second is then comes that what types of modules you should solve, what types of books you should do, how many questions you should have, right? Number of questions, and then whether you should write in class, you should make notes in class, or how many DPP you should solve, how many questions you should solve for one particular chapter, and all sorts of things, right? Got it? Please understand that this is a pure English batch, so I'll be talking in English. I will not use Hindi. Even if you are going to ask me any question in Hindi, I'll stick to English because it is a pure English batch. All right, Kashish? No, I'm absolutely comfortable in English. It's just that I'm really excited for today's class. That's why I'm speaking a little fast, but we are going to only communicate in English. So if you have got any doubt, if you are more comfortable in Hindi and you have opted this batch just to study from me or ma'am or sir or Prithviraj sir, you can ask your doubt in Hindi, but we will reply back in English, right? Now coming back to the plan or strategy. So educational institute, books, number of questions, how many mock exams you should give, how many test series you should opt for, all of these comes under this strategy, right? And many more things. Many more things that we are going to discuss later on. So there has to have a plan, a strategy on which you guys should move, and then you have to be consistent. So that is why I have written the first point as consistency. Without consistency, no matter how many plans you make, how many ideas you have got, how many strategies you have got, it makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. No, you should not copy anything. You should just sit back and relax. I'm going to open the chat after some time, and then you guys can ask your doubt. I'll definitely answer your doubts. All right, clear? So you have to have a plan and strategy. And then the next thing is always go back to your strategy and analyze and modify. This is the last thing that I want you to understand, that after having a plan and being consistent on it, sometimes what can happen is still your marks in physics is not improving. Still you can't able to solve a new numerical. Still you are not able to solve level 2 numericals of something. Still organic chemistry is looking is appearing hard to you, right? So that means you must analyze your plan, you must analyze your strategy in every, let's say 15 days, 14 days, and then you must modify it and then again be consistent on it, right? Now in our journey in these classes, I'll again and again in every week I'll keep one session, I'll keep one class, I'll take out some time of my class in which I will talk about these things. I will talk about plans, I will talk about strategies, I will talk about how to analyze things, I will talk how to modify it, I will give you motivation to be consistent, right? But these are the three major things that you need to know to crack NEET exam. The next thing is, please note some important facts about NEET exam. Every year 2 million people, 2 million students give NEET exam. That is around 20 lakh students. And then we have got around 50,000 seats. Now you might say, sir, now it is 75, now it is 85. Let's stick to 50,000 seats. That means that out of these 50,000 seats, our target is AIR 1 to 100. AIR 1 to 100. Please, please, please aim for the moon, right? Aim for the moon from the very first day. Do not think that if, let's suppose, if a government medical college is in your city, if a government medical college is in some tier 1 city near to you, do not plan for that. Plan for AIIMS Delhi. This is the foremost thing when you're starting for a mission, when you're starting for a journey. Plan for the moon, aim for the moon, right? You know, even if we are going to fail, we can go to government medical college. There's no problem with that. But we are going to move in such a way, we are going to plan our journey in such a way that we are going to do for this thing, right? We are going to go for AIR 1 to 100, right? Obviously, if we have this plan, if we have this dream, then we'll have to make a plan according to that we are going to talk about. Other than this, please remember that NEET is a high scoring paper. High scoring paper basically means that you will have to get a really high number of marks. For example, as if total number of marks is 720, then you have to get more than 680 marks to get into the top 50 colleges in India, right? I'm talking about, top 10 colleges of India. You have to have more than 680 plus marks. Is that correct? So, if it is a high scoring paper, why I am talking about high scoring and low scoring? The reason is that you cannot survive without physics, you cannot survive without inorganic chemistry, you cannot survive with it without botany or zoology. That means all of these subjects are like a tripod. Physics, chemistry and biology. In physics also, each and every chapter we'll have to get it, we will have to understand it to the best of our level, to best of our efforts. Without that, we won't be able to get into this bracket. Is that correct? I mean, if you are going to think, sir, organic chemistry is taking a hell lot of time out of my schedule, I will invest that time into physical chemistry, that's not going to work. So do not have biases in your head against any subject, against any topic, against any chapter. That is not going to work, right? At last, obviously, we have got 720 paper. If you are having a really hard, difficult, really difficult questions from rotational motions, we can talk about that later. But for now, do not have any grudges. You have to distribute your time equally to all three subjects. You have to get almost equal marks in all three subjects, right? That is 95% of marks, right? Now, after that, this is what it takes to crack NEET. You have to be consistent, you have to make a plan, you have to analyze it and then modify it, and you have to move in this direction. So this is your target, this is plan, be consistent, analyze it, modify it, and then crack it. Now how I am going to help you in physics, let's talk about that, right? How I am going to help you in physics. Now this is the time where I am giving you some promises, all right? So these are promises from my side. It is slightly pompous to write sir in your own name, but fine. I think I am allowed to do that. Promises from my side. First promise, I am going to start from basic. From zero level. Second promise, we will complete level 2 problems, of all chapters. Example, like for example as level which is more than mains plus level 2 problems of books like HCV, or I will actually suggest you to do DC Pandey, right? So we are going to start from zero level, we are going to solve level 2 problems. This is my promise that whenever you are going to compare my notes, it will have maximum number of numericals. Right? Last thing, and by the way, I'm going to also tell you that right now we are taking long live classes on YouTube on PW NEET English. So if you want to have a little sneak peek that what type of questions we are going to do, you guys have already done class 11th, you have passed from class 11th, you guys can go to those live lectures and see I'm constantly doing good problems from JEE mains PYQs, right? So we are going to do that also. My notes are going to have maximum number of questions. Now you guys are in, right now you are in class 12th. So because you are in class 12th, I am going to also complete our preparation will include NCERT plus boards. That means if boards requires derivations, I am not going to skip any derivation. And this is my habit. Even in droppers batch, I always do derivations. It is a myth that many school teachers says that coaching teachers only talk about tips and tricks. But in our batch, we are going to definitely talk about derivations. We will definitely talk about NCERT. I will make sure that whenever it is very, very important for us to take notes from NCERT, I will do that, right? The next point is, so we are going to start from zero level. This clears, I think many students have asked this doubt. We will complete level 2 problems, that is DC Pandey. My notes are going to have maximum number of numericals that a NEET aspirant can have in their notes, right? Next is preparation will include NCERT plus boards, and it will also include derivations. My next point is that I'm going to give you some of my personal tricks that I usually don't give away on YouTube. So I'm going to give you my personal tricks, and I'm going to give you my personal tricks not only from class 12th but also from class 11th, right, in physics. All right. So these are some of the promises from my side. Now I want some promises from your side, and those are, and then I'm going to start today's class. Promises from your end. You guys are ready? You guys are ready? When I'm going to start today's class, I'll let you know that what are the things that you must do, you must revise from class 11th, and how to revise class 11th while we are learning, while we are going through class 12th, right? You guys are ready to give me some promises? Quickly write down in the chat box. Be quick. Are you guys ready? Quick. All right. Come on, write down in the chat box. Okay. And trust me, it's going to be really simple. And you know what? As I'm getting old, I'm actually, one thing is getting very clear in my head. And it is that life is actually simple. Life is actually simple. And because it is simple, for some adventure, we make it difficult. When you are going to grow up and you are going to see how things work, things are very, very simple. But because of our creativity, because of our laziness, because of our what that name is very popular, right? Procrastination. Because of procrastination, we actually make it difficult, right? And actually, I am also culprit in that, and I believe that many of you are also. Henry, wait, buddy. I'll talk with you. Don't go. I'll talk with you. I know I was not answering your doubts. Wait for some time. Life is very simple, and so is preparation of a NEET aspirant. The first thing that I want from you is complete your work. Complete your work for that day. That means if I'm talking about today, let's suppose I'm talking about today. Let's suppose you have got, or let's suppose we are talking about tomorrow. Tomorrow you have got physics class, and let's suppose you have got chemistry class. Now, in physics class, I have explained some things. In chemistry class, you have got, and then you have got one DPP from physics class. You have got one DPP from chemistry class. Now, you have to be really, really religious that you complete your one-day task. You do not make backlogs by yourself, right? You do not do that. What do I mean to say is that you have to be really religious that after your classes are completed, you need to do this DPP. You need to do this DPP. You need to revise your physics class. You need to revise chemistry class. Definitely, I'll give you lots of homework in my class also along with the DPP. So you need to do that as well. So you have to complete your work for a single day. In that day only. You cannot work like this. Okay, fine sir, today I have to watch some Korean drama. I have to watch some show on Netflix. Probably I'll do it on Saturday or Sunday. Everything is going good. I'm understanding electromagnetism. Life is good after a long time. I'm not seeing inclined planes. I'm not seeing pulley. Right? So I'm going to do this DPP. I know how it works. I'm going to do it on this day. Do not do that. Be highly religious. Why I'm saying be religious? A religious person do not say ki, I mean I'm going to do today's puja or I'm going to do today's prayer on Sunday or Saturday. Today's prayer has to be done today only. We cannot actually procrastinate in prayers. So that is why I'm saying be highly religious, when it comes to your DPP, be highly religious when it comes to your revision, and do not think that your journey is going to start, when mock exams are going to come. Do not think your journey is going to start when the result of your mock exam will be showed up and you are going to see, oh, your friend has got 680 marks and you have got 580 marks and now you have to move. Your journey does not start when you start comparing. Your journey starts from day one. Mind you, the student who's going to get rank between AIR 1 and AIR 100 is actually, he or she is not thinking about anything else. They have got a plan in their head. Rank is constantly moving. If you are missing one day, if you are not solving one day DPP, just subtract 100 ranks from your account. Just in day one, if you do not solve any DPP, just say that, okay sir, from now on I am not able to get AIR 1 to 100. If I am going to continue this, I am out of this 100 AIR bracket. Do it for straight 10 days, have a streak of 10 days, now you are out of 1000 bracket. Continue it for a month, you are out of 50,000 bracket. This should be your mindset. This has to be your mindset, that if I am wasting one day, 100 rank is off. If I am wasting a week, 5,000 rank is off. I mean, it's not a linear function, it's an exponential function. Got it? So this is the first promise that I want you from your side, that please keep it simple. It would be really, really simple, but that's what I'm saying. The most difficult thing to do is to live your life simply. This is the most difficult thing, right? Very good, very good. So you need to complete your task of the day, and then after this, do not skip live classes. Although again, you might be feeling that, sir, in live class many times, like for example is this class, it has been 30 minutes and you are keep on going, we have not seen charges yet. Please remember that any teacher, no teacher is going to waste your time, right? If I'm talking about something, if I'm talking about strategies, if I'm talking about some stories about my life, wait for some time. It would hardly take 5 minutes, it would hardly take 10 minutes, then we are going to definitely move on. If a class is of 90 minutes, mind you, at least 90% of the time we are going to only discuss studies, 99% of the time. In that 1%, I can give you some suggestions out of my life. If you like them, take it. If you don't like them, listen from this year, you can throw it off from this year, right? Why I'm saying that do not skip live classes is that you guys are not dropper student. You are learning everything for the first time, right? Now, many times what happens, especially in physics, we do not rely a lot on notes. Like for example is if let's suppose I've got an inclined plane, if I've got a pulley, I might be explaining something and I might just say, see, do not apply, or let's suppose I've got a rod attached, I'll say that, see, do not apply conservation of angular momentum about this point, because about this point it is not conserved. About this point you can apply because net torque is coming 0. So we are not writing these things in notes. I'm not writing these things in notes. I'm speaking with you, right? And you are solving questions live in my class. I'm giving you polls over here. So you are attentive, and when you're watching it as a recording, that special part about the live classes is actually it usually evaporates. If you are a dropper, fine, I've got no problem with that. For a dropper student, I actually don't write something like this on the digital board that you must not skip the live classes. Although in droppers batch also I always say that please try to attend as many live classes as possible. The next thing is, do not skip or do not have biases against any subject. I've already explained this point, and the fourth point is do not skip mock exams or test paper from day 1 to last day. If your syllabus is not completed, if only 20% of your syllabus is completed, if 50% of your syllabus is completed, you're thinking, sir, I'll waste these 3 hours, I don't know what to do in that 3 hours. Do not do that. Do not skip mock exam, period. Right? That's it, my dear friends. These were promises that I want from your end. These are the promises that I'm going to deliver. You can see that I'm being actually quite nice, right? I have written more promises on my end, and I have written less promises on your end, age wise, right? So I'm older, so I have taken the larger portion, I have given you the smaller portion. Got it? But the true thing is that you have got 3 subjects. Alright, my dear friends, so now I am going to start today's class. Before starting today's class, now I'll take some of your doubts till here, right? Sir, I am a dropper, would you revise class 11th to this year after completing 12th? Right now we are starting with class 12th, but whenever I am going to come across any class 12th topic, I'll definitely explain that. Thank you, Rasika. Thank you. Come on, I'll take your doubts, my dear friends, till here, and then I'm going to start my class. Be quick. Ask your doubts. Thank you so much. And please, I want your promise. I want you to give promise to me, and I want you to give promise to yourself also. I have learned only 50% of 11th class. How can I learn rest, sir? Do I can learn 11th here? Okay, I'll take one doubt of 11th class. All right. Any more doubts, my dear friends? Be quick. Very good, Jia. Thank you. Thank you, Pallavkar. And also, let me know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. All right. Okay, Shobha, good. Pratham, very, very good. Good, Varnesh. You guys are giving me promise. That's really nice. Dilip, thank you. Ruchita, good. Mahalakshmi, great. All right. Nandini. Nandini is saying, I've got a backlog from 11th. How do I catch up? Fine, fine. I'll take one doubt from 11th. Just wait for some time so that I can club your doubts. And from tomorrow you will never miss academics, okay? In my class you will never miss academics. Sir, I don't ask any questions. No problem, Alok. Sir, can I pass board exams with good grades with your classes? 100%. Guarantee. I'm giving you guarantee. Right? Sir, I'm too weak in class 11 physics. What can I do? Fine. Let's have one question on physics. All right, okay. So now let's stop. Let's start today's class, and I'll take one doubt about 11th, and then let's start today's class. And in the meanwhile, I'll keep on doing these things, right? I will have some mentorship sessions also, so we'll keep on doing these things. Let's start today's class. All right, okay. So that at least let me give you a quick sneak peek that how many of these promises you're going to see, right? So some of these, like starting from basics and maximum number of questions. So let's start today's class. There is one question about you, about 11th class. I will help you a lot in how to revise 11th, how to learn 11th for the very first time. I'll take that responsibility. What I want from your end is you have to study for more hours. You have to do overtime. That's what you need to do, and it is very possible in class 12th, because class 12th syllabus is not that vast as class 11th. All right, clear? All right. So 11th class is, you can leave it to me. I will help you from my end. How I'm going to help you? I'm going to draw that plan later. I'm now starting. No worries, no matter from which board you are. Class 12th, after learning class 12th from here, everything will be sorted. Just give me 1 week. After 1 week, we'll be able to at least cover a lot of course from first chapter, and then you can actually analyze by yourself. All right, let's start. All right, my dear friends. So today we are starting electric charges and fields. This is the first chapter of class 12th. In today's class, we are going to talk about the introduction part. Then we are going to discuss the basic properties of electric charge. We are going to talk about charging methods, and then if time allows us, we are going to also talk about Coulomb's law, right? And as I have told you, all of these topics are generally considered as very basic, very simple. And usually if for a dropper students, if we want to skip charging methods, we actually do that sometimes, right? But for Laksh, for class 12th, we are not going to miss a single topic. We are going to have each and every topic. Now let's start. So my dear friends, actually what today we are doing is, we are today starting electromagnetism. Although the name of the chapter is electric charges and fields, but let me introduce you to electromagnetism. And let's understand what we are going to do for next 6 months. Let me introduce you to the plan, right? So electromagnetism is basically study of electrical and magnetic phenomena. Electrical and magnetic phenomena, right? Electrical and magnetic phenomena. The first branch of electromagnetism is actually electrostatics. Electrostatics. The first branch is electrostatics. The word electro basically means, charge. And the word static basically means when charges are at rest. So it is a self-explanatory thing, right? It is a self-explanatory thing that we are in this branch, we are going to talk about those charges. We are going to talk about charges which are at rest, and then we are going to discuss the properties around charges. We are going to talk about electric field, potential, and lots of things, but everything will come under electrostatics. In electrostatics, our charge, we are not going to talk about motion of charge, but that doesn't mean that you are not going to get questions of kinematics out from here. That I'll discuss later on, right? So in the electrostatics, we are going to have the first chapter is electric charges and fields. Electric charges and fields. The next chapter is electrostatics potential. Electrostatics potential and capacitance. Right? Then the next branch is electrodynamics. That means now our charge is free to move. Now our charge is in motion. Charge is in motion. Alright? And the first thing in electrodynamics will be, the first chapter will be current electricity. Current electricity. And a phenomena which is related to current that you have learnt in grade 10th, by the way, is magnetism also. In magnetism, then we have got two more chapters which are moving charges and magnetism. Moving charges and magnetism, and we have got magnetism and matter. Magnetism and matter. And then the very important point to note over here is that charge was at rest, charge is in motion, and while in motion, in both of these things, charge is actually, the velocity of charge is constant. that means it is not accelerating. Rest, constant velocity, and then when charge will actually accelerate, that means when it is not constant, then we are going to talk about EMI, AC and EM waves. And that is why I was saying that I'm going to draw up a 6-month plan, at least a 6-month plan in front of you. This is your class 12th physics part 1 book, NCERT book. Is that correct? Right, starting from electric charges and fields 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Is that correct? So today we are going to start with electric charges and fields, and later on we are going to talk about when charge accelerates, it emits electromagnetic radiation along with electric field and magnetic field. When charge moves with constant velocity, it emits electric field and magnetic field, and when charge is at rest, it only emits electric field. So we are going to talk about the details later on. So let's start our class with electrostatics, right? Now, as I have told you, electromagnetism is a science of combination of electrical and magnetic phenomena. Electromagnetism can be divided into two things, electrostatics and electrodynamics. As I have already told you, you are going to get all the notes from here, so you don't have to worry about notes, right? I'm going to write it down personally also for you, and you're going to get it printed also. So don't worry about notes. Next thing is, my dear friends, the very important thing is learning about the charge. What do we mean by charge? Can I ask you, how do we define actually charge? Whenever I ask students to define charge, they actually say that charge are of two types, positive and negative charges. They say that charge are positive charges and they are negative charges. I'm not asking about the types of charges. I'm talking about how do we define charge. Charan, Manasa, we are going to have a lot of time to discuss each and everything. Let's stick to studies. Let's keep our chat for asking doubts, as long as, I mean, especially when I'm teaching something, right? Please be quick. What do we mean by charge? How do we define charge? No, Shri. No. For today's class, please sit back, relax, and for today's class you don't have to make notes out of here. Usually what I say is, if you guys can do, make notes fast enough, right? Else you can actually skip making notes in the live class, and then you can these notes will be provided to you, right? So if you don't take a lot of time to make notes after the class, I mean, it's up to you. You can make notes after the class also. You can prepare them while you are watching my live lecture, but I'm not going to give you a lot of time to note this thing down, right? What do we mean by charge? It will be available on the app. It will be available. What do we mean by charge? See, I'm asking class 12 students, you are not answering me. It is an intrinsic property of material fine. This point has been accepted, but what do we mean by charge? Sir, according to me, charge is which can repel and attract any object. So does this thing has charge? This thing has charge? I mean, it is not attracting me. It is not attracting me. What do we mean by charge? Charge are positive and negative. Charges attract or repel each other, fine, but what do we mean by charge? See, this is the thing. Charge are basically, it is basically a property of matter due to which the matter produces or experiences, produces and experiences both, or I should write experiences electrical and magnetic effects. and magnetic effects. Got it? So what you are trying to say is, I know you guys know the definition of charges, you are not able to articulate it, right? When you are saying that, sir, charges are something because of which things attract or repel each other, right? So this is an electrical phenomena. This is an electrostatics phenomena. That means electrostatics attraction and electrostatics repulsion. But that's not it. Magnetism is also because of charges. Is that correct? You guys have learned that in class 12th, that when electrons move in a wire, they produce magnetic field, right? And when you have got magnetic field, then there are going to be magnetic phenomena, and that magnetic phenomena is being produced by that wire, and it can be experienced by another magnetic materials. Is that correct? So that means charges is a property of a matter because of which a body can produce, a charge can produce, and it can experiences both magnetic and electrical phenomena. It is not compulsory that it will always produce magnetic phenomena. It depends whether it is moving or not. In today's class, I am going to discuss some properties about charge that I think you might have never heard about it, which are important for NEET exam, right? So charges are of two type. Yes, they are positive and negative, but the definition is that it is property, and then I'm going to add one more point, that it can be acquired or it can be natural. That means it's a property which can be acquired because of something else. The word acquired means that, let's suppose that I have acquired some habit from someone else, right? I have got some habit from somebody else. So that is known as acquired. That I am going to discuss in today's class only, when we are going to talk about charging by induction, charging by friction. So it is, we are charging some body because of some another body, right? So it is a property which is acquired or natural by an object, due to which it produces and experiences electrical and magnetic effects. Is that correct? Types of charges are of obviously two types, positive charge and negative charge. Please remember that as long as we are not discussing modern physics, we are not talking about nuclear physics, the number of protons are going to be same. Protons are immobile. So this is again a very basic things, but again I have told you we are going to start from zero level. So if we have got any atom, like for example, as if we have got sodium atom, it has got 11 protons and 11 neutrons. Is that correct? It has got 11 protons and 11 electrons, sorry. And as a sodium atom, it is electrically neutral. Now this doesn't mean that it does not have charges. If a particular body is neutral, that does not mean that it has no charges. It only means that it has equal number of positive and equal number of negative charges. Now the next important thing is that protons are immobile. Protons are immobile, and only electrons are transferable, right? That means we can only transfer electrons from one body to another body, or a body can lose electrons or it can gain electron. Is that correct? So that means whenever you are going to see, let's suppose a very common reaction between sodium and chlorine. So sodium has got plus charge, chlorine has got minus, because sodium donates one of this electron to chlorine. Initially chlorine has got 17 protons, 17 electron, and now it has got 18 electrons. So it becomes negatively charged. This one has got 11 protons and now it has got 10 electrons. So there is a now imbalance between the charges. That's how bodies attain charge. When this balance differs, right? When this balance becomes imbalance, this is when body acquire charge. So very basic thing, positive charge, negative charge. Positive charge does not mean proton, negative charge does not mean electron. It only means that it is the deficiency of electrons compared to protons. It is the excess of electrons compared to protons. Is that correct? What is meant by immobile? Immobile basically means which cannot move, which cannot get transferred. No mobility. Exactly, Gia. Is that correct? How long is class? We'll probably stretch it to 7:45 or 8 if you guys wanted. This is the first class. I have taken some time to explain some things, right? Now we have started. Let's quickly move on. And when I'm saying quickly move on, we have got no hurry, but still We are not going to waste time while we are studying. So this is all about charges. Now the next thing is about any physical quantity. Remember its definition. I don't want you to mug up its definition, but if somebody asks you, it's very basic to know the definitions of the things which we are learning. Definition, we have talked about it. Now let's talk about the about charge as a physical quantity. So charge is actually not a fundamental quantity. It is a derived quantity. It is a derived physical quantity. It is a derived physical quantity. Right? That means its SI unit is also not going to be a fundamental unit, right? It will be also derived, and obviously everyone knows that its SI unit is coulomb, but that's not sufficient for us. Its SI unit is definitely coulomb, but it is not a very practical unit. So we are going to talk about some other units also, like for example as 1 millicoulomb. 1 millicoulomb is 10 to the power minus 3 coulomb. Now from the very first, if you guys have any doubt in this milli, in micro, learn it from the very first class. This small m basically means milli, and whenever you will see any prefix as milli, like for example as millimeter, 10 to the power minus 3 meter. Milli kilogram, milligram, 10 to the power minus 3 gram. Got it? So wherever you are going to see milli, it is 10 to the power minus 3. Whenever you are going to see micro, it is 10 to the power minus 6. This is micro. Whenever you are going to see nano, it is 10 to the power minus 9. So mostly we are going to use these three things mostly, right? You are going to use these three things. After this also they can ask, but 99% of the time our job will be done. Our job will be done by these three things. The next is CGS units. You know about the CGS system, right? CGS unit is known as electrostatics unit, which is also known as ESU, and the conversion is 1 coulomb is equals to 3 into 10 to the power 9 ESU. 3 into 10 to the power 9 ESU. You have to remember all of these things. Also, sometimes students do not remember about the Faraday. 1 Faraday is also one unit which is not that common, but please note it down. I mean, when I say note it down, please revise this whenever you are going to revise this chapter. 1 Faraday is 96,500 coulomb. Very, very less used, very rarely used, but please remember it. Dimensional formula, as I have told you, it is not a fundamental quantity. Current is actually equals to rate of flow of charge, right? See, the correct formula of current is limit, or I will write it for average current, fine. Delta Q divided by delta T. So unit of delta Q will be I into T, that is ampere into second, and that's how we are going to define the dimensional formula. M0, L0, T1, A1. Is that correct? So dimensional formula of charge is also very, very simple. Now let's talk about some of the properties of charge. And this is where we are going to learn some new things, probably some new things for you. Charge is a scalar quantity. We can add it algebraically, which basically means that 2 coulomb plus 3 coulomb is 5 coulomb. 2 coulomb plus 3 coulomb is 5 coulomb. What is CGS? Sian, if you are asking me what is CGS, my dear friends, CGS is just a set of units, which it is a unit system where C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, S stands for seconds, right? All right. No, nothing is needed, nothing is needed. After this stat C and ABC, nothing is needed for units. Just you remember SI unit, CGS unit. I have given you one more unit which is rarely used, that is Faraday. Other than that, nothing is needed. Clear? 100% sure, my dear friends, 100% sure. You can go through any book, any module, you are not going to find any new thing. That is my guarantee. All right. Next thing is, as I have told you that it can be algebraically added, like for example as 3 coulomb plus 2 coulomb is 5 coulomb, 3 coulomb minus 2 coulomb is 1 coulomb. No vector, life is simple as far as charges are concerned, right? It is also conserved. That means in an isolated system, total charge remains conserved. What do we mean by this? Let's suppose that we have got two bodies over here, and this A body, we have got A body and B body. It has got, let's say, initially charge Q1. This one has got charge Q2. We are transferring some charge Q dash from A to B. That means now this one has, let's suppose we are transferring actually some charge delta Q. So now Q1 dash has charge Q1 minus delta Q. Q2 dash has now charge Q2 plus delta Q. Now what I'm trying to say is, my dear friends, that this can't be an isolated system. This alone can't be an isolated system. Are you getting it what I'm trying to say? Can you please, sir, is DC Pandey? Just pick one book, my dear friend. DC Pandey is sufficient, right? If you want to solve, you can solve H.C. Verma also. But DC Pandey's language is more appropriate for a NEET aspirant. DC Pandey is sufficient. My notes, DPP, module, I'll recommend module to you. These much things are sufficient. All right. Let's come back to over here. I'll answer all of those things also, because I have denoted some of my time to introducing to the class, how to prepare, and that's why I have now come to studies, right? Come to academics. Wait for some time. I'm going to explain each and everything. Everything. My dear friends, I'm asking you something. Why this thing can't be an isolated system? Can't be an isolated system. Can you write down in the chat box? This is not an isolated system, mind you. Or can it be? What I'm trying to say is, this is not an isolated system. Why? Why it is not an isolated system? Quick. That's what I'm asking to you. I'm going to explain it. What do we mean by isolated system? So the point is that you guys don't know, and what is an isolated? Yeah, somebody is asking also on YouTube also. Sir, please explain. My by mistake my class get back. No problem. I am good. Sir, is NCERT fingertips good? I believe it's fine. Charge is transferred. Yes. Okay, fine. Let's come back. Everyone on YouTube, everyone on app, I'm explaining you what do we mean by isolated. You have heard about isolated, na? That we use sometimes for some person, that yeah, he is very isolated. He remains isolated in his or her life, right? That means they do not interact. Let's not discuss about energy. It's not, see, let's, in physics, one more tip, my dear friends. One more prescription. We need to improve our physics vocabulary. We cannot use any term anywhere. Although energy is not a bad term over here, energy is fine, but in my example, I am not using any energy. Or if you are talking about an isolated system for thermodynamics, I'm not going to use that definition as well. What I'm keeping my definition very simple. I'm saying that if this is my isolated system, it should not interact with any body which is outside of this system. It should not interact. Now, what do we mean by interaction? Interaction basically means that if it is giving off some charge, if it is transferring it some charge, it is donating it some charge to another body, and that another body is outside of the system, that makes this system not to be isolated. Now it is not isolated. Are you getting it what I'm trying to say? So you need to modify, although the definition is pretty equivalent to what you have learnt in thermodynamics, and that's why some of my friends were talking about energy. That's fine. But in this sense, how I'm going to define an isolated system is that if this is an isolated system, I really can't have any charge business with any other body which is outside of the system. Got it? Is that clear? And that is why we are going to say, okay, this is not an isolated system. This is not an isolated system, but surely this is. surely this is an isolated system. And that is why we are saying that charges are conserved in an isolated system. Is that clear? If we were considering initial system to be isolated, then charges are not conserved. Charges is moving from body A to some another body, we don't know what that body is. But definitely charges is not conserved in that system. Is that clear? So isolated system, and when we are talking about conservation of charge, we'll simply say one thing, that initial charge was Q1 plus Q2. This was the initial charge of the system, and finally the charge is Q1 dash plus Q2 dash. Q1 dash plus Q2 dash. This is the initial charge of the system. Initial charge of the system, and this is the final charge of the system. This is going to be same, and you guys can see that when you are going to add Q1 minus delta 2, Q2 plus delta Q will get cancelled. Is it clear? Please explain, please define an isolated system again. Fine, I will define an isolated system all over again to you, no problem. Isolated system, a system in which bodies are going to interact with the bodies in the same system only. You can consider that for this isolated system is the universe for A and B. Is the universe for A and B. Is that clear? Is that clear? Quick, shall I explain the sum part all over again? No problem, I'll explain the sum part to you again. Please answer my question. If let's suppose A has got 10 coulomb of initial charge and B has got 20 coulomb of initial charge. Let's just consider, my dear friends, stop writing, give your fingers some rest, listen to me, I am giving you one example, after that all of your doubts will be over, killed by me. Let's suppose it has got 10 coulomb of initial charge, it has got 20 coulomb of initial charge. What is the total charge of this system? What do you mean by system? By system I mean this A and B, a universe made up of A and B. Alright, so the sum is 10 coulomb plus 20 coulomb. Answer is 30 coulomb. Fine. Now I am saying, let's have a possibility, let's assume that 5 coulomb of charge is being transferred from A to B. How it is transferred, that we can learn later on. But it is transferred from A to B. That means now Q1 dash will be, from 10 coulomb you have transferred 5 coulomb, and it is a scalar quantity. So it has got 10 coulomb and 5 coulomb is being taken out. So what is now the total charge of A? 10 minus 5, that is 5 coulomb. And 5 coulomb is being accepted by B. Initially it has got 20 coulomb charge. So 20 coulomb plus 5 coulomb, that means now it has got 25 coulomb. Sum is still 30 coulomb. That is what I was saying, right? So we are going to use this later also in capacitance chapter, in other things also. We are going to use conservation of charge. So conservation of charge is like a law for you. Wherever you can use it, you can use it wherever it is necessary. Now it is clear about conservation of charge. Conservation of charge basically means for an isolated system, the total charge is constant at all times. That means for the entire universe, total charge is always constant. It can't be like a charge has vanished. Let's suppose I've got 100 coulomb of charge and suddenly it vanishes, and now I've got 80 coulomb of charge, and I'll say, I don't know where that 20 coulomb of charge has gone. It has gone, I don't know. We cannot say that. If in a universe there is 100 coulomb of charge, always there will be 100 coulomb of charge. We can redistribute it. We can redistribute it into n number of bodies, but finally when you are going to add charges of all the bodies, still it will be 100 coulomb. Clear? If the object A is transferred to B, it is not an isolated system. No, Dilip. That's not what I have said. I have said if you are going to only consider A as an isolated system, then you cannot move charge from A to B. That is what I have said. I'll repeat again. If you are considering A to be an isolated system, then you cannot take charge of A out of that system to another body. That body should be in the same system of A. That will make the isolated system. Is that clear? Now I think this tiny point is sorted. This is what I'm going to do in each of my class. If we have got a single line written over there, we are going to dive deep into that line, and you are going to see for the next 2 lines also. And by the way, I've got a bonus point that you might not see in your schools or in some of the books also, that is charge is invariant. So wait for that. Yes, Nandini. If A and B are part of same system, then charges can be transferred. Define collab. Define collab. What do you mean by collab? Collab means, I mean, the collab that influencers do, or do you see anything written collab over here? I don't think so. We'll come back to charges invariant, but right now let's talk about quantization. Let's talk about quantization. Alright, my dear friends. So this was about conservation of charge. Now we have got something which is known as quantization. Again, this term you're going to use it quite often, which is known as quantized, or again same term, that is quantization. My dear friends, experimentally it is being known. I can move on, right? Sir, is this class available to watch even after the live? It is available, but I'll highly suggest you to watch it live only. It means Sajid, let's kill this doubt once and for all. I'll explain it again, my dear friends. Hear me out very carefully. What I'm trying to say is, my dost, if from A body charge is moving to B body, then the combination of A and B will be considered as isolated system. If someone is saying that from A charge is moving to B and I'm only considering A to be an isolated system, this is an incorrect statement. Clear, my dear friend? Right? No problem. Now about this isolated system, let's isolate ourselves to this doubt now. Clear? My dear friends, can I move on to quantization? All right. Be quick. Total charge of a body is multiple of a basic quantum of charge is quantization. Very good, Kashish. That's a nice definition. Great. Now let me explain what that definition means. Right? Yes, I am there. Hi everybody on YouTube also. Hi. Experimentally it is being known that the minimum charge, the least charge a body can have is known as an elementary charge. Elementary charge. Although this is a study which is not up to date, but we will have to survive with this. I'm going to explain what do I mean over here, but do not think, okay, sir, this is one of those things like we have got Daltons and then we have got Thomson and then we have got Bohr and all of them are bloody wrong. I'm not talking about that, right? Let me explain, and then you guys are free to ask your doubts. See, there is something that is known as elementary charge. Elementary charge is basically the most basic charge, which is 1e. That is charge of an electron. This is known as elementary charge, or you can say this is, sir, this is the building block of charge. The minimum charge a body can have is of 1 electron, right? And it is same charge an electron has. That's why we are calling it as charge of 1 electron, right? So 1 electron is basically called as elementary charge, and its value is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Divya, you want me to define coulomb for you? 1 coulomb? Hold on dear, I am going to define 1 coulomb. Hold on, okay? Let's move. Right now we have not talked about any physical quantity, any physical formula which relates charge with any other thing, right dear? So hold on, we are going to define it for you. After quantization, I think we can define it, but wait for some time. This is called as elementary charge, but this is not accurate. Why it is not accurate? I'll let you know. See, quantization basically means that charge will always exist as an integral multiple. Integral multiple. What do you mean by integral? Integral means integer. Integral means integer. That means it exists as an integral multiple of an elementary charge, of an elementary charge. That means Q can be written as, it can be positive, it can be negative. This depends upon the number of electrons as compared to proton. Now you know that. So charge can be written as plus minus. For integer I am writing n and then elementary charge E. Q equals to plus minus Ne. This is known as quantization of charge. This means that a particular body can have 1e charge, it can have 2e charge, it can have 3e charge, but it cannot have 3 by 2e charge. This is not possible. It cannot have 1.5e charge. It cannot have 1.3e charge. This is not possible. It cannot have 2 by 5e charge. This is not possible. Although in reality there are some things which are known as quarks. There are some things which are known as quarks. This is not in course. For us, my dear friends, sir, that means if A and B are two systems, that if both A and B are isolated, then Sara, first of all, you are not writing your doubt properly. Charge that can be experienced by a body is charge on E multiplied by that's correct, Stuti. Sara, I think you're not getting it correctly. What you have written is wrong. Please rewrite your doubt again, then I'll answer you. Okay. My dear friends, hopefully this is all clear, that charge only exists as an integral multiple of an electron, right? But there are some things which are known as quarks. Quarks are basically things, quarks make up protons, neutrons and electrons. Combination of quarks, up quark, down quark, makes proton, neutron and electron, but this is not in course, and mind you, the charge of these quarks is E by 3. But it is not in our course, so we don't have to worry about it. But still I have explained it, that in quantization there is a small loophole which is not in our course, right? So for us this is absolutely very useful, that Q can be written as plus minus Ne, right? Charge can be written as plus minus Ne. Quarks they are smallest, yes, they are actually, they are subatomic particles. If you want me to define what quarks are subatomic particles which makes up, because of which we have got electrons, proton, like for example, as if you ask me what is inside of electron, proton or neutron, although that question is not absolutely valid, because I think you might know it, that electron is not considered as a particle sometimes, right? So that is why I am saying that things becomes really complex when you go inside an electron, and that is why we will never go. It's not in our course, it's not in course of JEE mains, it's not in course of JEE advanced. So it's not like that NTA will someday they'll decide ki chalo let's play with students heart and they'll ask something about quarks. Okay? They will not never do it. So you don't have to worry about quark, right? Is that clear, my dear friends? All right. Done. Hopefully everything is cool. So this is a very important formula. We are going to use it in solving questions. I'm sorry, Dora, I couldn't get your definition. Let me read it. The principle of electric charge is not continuous but exist as an I mean you don't have to use those definition. Simply say that charge exists only as an integral multiple of elementary charges. That's it. Forget about quark, my dear friends. Abhi, forget about it. Don't worry about quark. How is errorless physics book? I believe it's fine. Sir, if the value of Q is 0.5, then it is correct. Let me answer it. This question to you. Electrons are made up of quarks. Yes, we can paraphrase it like that, right? You don't have to worry about quarks. Now somebody has said, is this possible? Is this possible? Now you have not written the unit. That's the problem. You have not written the unit. If you are going to write down, Abhilash, if you are going to write down 1/2 coulomb, this is valid. This is valid, right? It can't be 1/2 electron. It can't be 1/2 electron. This is valid. I've got no problem with it. 1/2 coulomb, fine. Nandini, I think we'll not have it every week. We'll have in 15 days. You will get that planner. 1/2 coulomb. Is that correct? 1/2 coulomb is valid. 1/2 electron is not valid. 1/3 electron is not valid. 1/4 electron is not valid. Only 1 electron is valid. After 1, 2 electron. After 2, 3 electron. After 3, 4 electron. 5 electron, 10 electron. Only integral multiple of electron valid. But 2500.30426 coulomb valid. I've got no problem with coulomb. Coulomb is a unit of charge. Are you getting it, my dear friends? We are going to get coulomb when we are going to write. Let's suppose you are saying, sir, what about 2e valid? Is it valid? Yes, it is valid. We are going to write 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Now, this thing can be an integer. I'm sorry, this thing can be any number, any decimal, right? Clear? After every class, Pallavikar, you are going to get DPP. That's correct. Sometimes it might be a slight delay. Once in a blue moon, it might be a slight delay that you might get, but that's not what's going to happen. You are going to get DPP for every class. So can we write 0.5 charge? No, you cannot write that. You cannot write that. Na? That's what I'm saying. Chalo, you guys write down the charges. I'll explain it to you. No problem. Now you are writing 0.5 into what you have written, my dear friends, 5 into 10 to the power minus 1. 5 into 10 to the power minus 1. Let me tell you something. Let's suppose it is electron, and let's suppose you have got 5 into 10 to the power minus 1 coulomb. You tell me which one is valid, which one is not valid. You tell me what's DPP. Okay, DPP is a practice sheet. DPP is a practice sheet. Alright. After every class, you are going to get minimum 10 questions. 10 questions, the combinations of that 10 questions is known as a practice sheet or a DPP. In that DPP will be provided after every class, after every physics class, after every chemistry class, after every biology class, right? Very good. Now you guys have got it. You guys have got it. This is valid. this is not valid. Clear? Clear? This is not valid because this is actually 5 divided by 10, that is 1 by 2 into electron. This is not valid because it disobeys the quantization of electron. Clear? Somebody was asking me, sir, can you define quantization again? I can define it, but please, my dear friends, this is the first class, so I'm explaining each and everything. I want to explain each and everything later on also, and this is class 12 batch, so I am in no hurry. I want you to understand each and everything. I've got very I've got lots of patience, right? I've got lots of patience. So what I'm trying to say is, but still please try to be as attentive as possible, because please remember your time is very crucial, very precious, right? All right, so second one is valid, first one is not valid. Can I move on to the next point now? Can I move on to the next point? Charge is always associated with mass. Charge, sir, where we get that DPP? Please go through the app once. You guys are of 16 age, much younger than me. You must be tech friendly. App is also very friendly. You guys will find each and everything, right? I believe I believe that there will be DPP today, right? If let's suppose by any chance if it is not uploaded yet, you will get it by tonight or by tomorrow morning, right? Can I move on now? Charge is always associated with mass, all right? Charge is always associated with mass, but mass is not always associated with. What I'm trying to say over here is that if I have got a body, it has got mass. If I have got a body, it has got mass, that means it will have charge, right? It will have charge. In this part, I'll take this slide. My dear friends, for now, although I'm going to write these values later on also, mass of an electron is around 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg. Mass of proton is 1.67 into 10 to the power minus 27 kg. Generally speaking, mass of neutron is slightly, or just right, it is nearly equal to mass of proton, nearly equal. But in reality, mass of neutron is greater than mass of proton. But for our calculations, when we are going to talk about magnetism, when we are going to talk about motion of charges, that I will explain later on. Hold on. We are going to consider that mass of neutron is almost equal to mass of proton, but mass of electron is way less than the mass of proton. So you need to pay attention to that, right? Coming back over here, so charge is always associated with mass. Charge can't vary speed. That's not what I'm trying to explain. Charge is invariant. This is our next thing. Can somebody say what do you mean by invariance or variance? Like, let's talk about mass. Is mass variant? What do you mean by variant or invariant? You guys have cleared class 11th. Do you know what do we mean by invariant? What do you mean by variant? Invariant and variant. You guys know about it? Quickly let me know. Chalo, talk to me na. Talk to me. Be quick. Do you guys know what do we mean by variant and invariant? Okay, you guys are trying your best. That's nice. That's really nice. You guys are trying your best. Very good. Very good, Beena. Beena, yeah, Beena is the name. Very, very nice. Very nice. Good, good, good. Great. It is related with the invariant nature of charge. I'm going to write it like this. Okay, fine. Invariant nature of charge. Very, very good, my dear friends. Now look here. I'm going to explain something to you, even if you know it now, although only one student has answered it correctly. Let me explain it to you. And they have also not used a term which I was waiting to hear. See here. No problem, no problem. No problem. Invariant nature basically means that charge does not depend upon the frame of reference. Charge is independent of frame of reference. I'll explain it to you. Of frame of reference, or charge does not change with speed, with motion. I'll write motion. With motion. Hold on. Everything you will take some time, right? You will take some time to learn new things. So keep your pen down. Hold on. Charge is independent of frame of reference, or it does not change with motion. I mean to say is that let's suppose that you have got two bodies. Body A, charge A is of 10 coulomb. B, charge B is also of 10 coulomb. Charge A is at rest. We have got a frame of reference. We have got a person at rest who's observing A and B is moving with 100 meter per second. So charge of A with respect to person is 10 and charge of B with respect to person is also 10. It does not changes with motion. This is known as invariant nature of charge. Now you will say, sir, even if you have not explained this, we would have said, ki, sir, this is 10 coulomb and when it is moving, it is also 10 coulomb. It's just like if my name is Ravi and I am at rest, my name is Ravi. If I am running, still my name is Ravi. Physics is not that simple. All right, let me explain it to you. First of all, write down in the chat box if invariance nature of charge is all clear to you. Invariance basically means that with motion it is not going to change. While this charge is in motion, still the charge of B will remain 10 coulomb. Is it clear? Now let's talk about a thing which changes with motion. Can you write down in the chat box a concept, a physical quantity which changes with respect to motion? Sorry, which changes with motion. Can you give me an example of something like charge? Charge is a physical quantity. Give me another example of a physical quantity which changes with speed, which changes with motion. I'm sorry, I'm missing your doubt. Hello sir, when will be the Arjuna batch start? I'll let you know. That. Very good, very good, very good. Harry, Stuti, Shreyas, I'm sorry I can't pronounce that name. Okay, Devanshi, Varsha, Maheen, very good. I'm sorry, Varsha, kinetic energy, fine. Let's go to the basics. Mass is correct. Very good. Mass is correct, my dear friends. Although I've got no problem if you guys don't know this. Do not get demotivated if lots of things are writing in the chat box and you don't know something. Anyway, I'm going to explain it from the scratch. The answer is mass. If a body has got some mass, let's suppose its mass is m, and right now it is at rest. So this thing is actually known as its rest mass. And this is also not in course, so you don't have to worry. If this body starts to move with velocity v, then its mass can be written as rest mass. Let me write it as m naught, rest mass divided by under root of 1 minus v square divided by c square. This was given by the original goat, Albert Einstein, the only goat. All right. This is known as relation of mass with motion, relativistic mass of a body. See, if the body starts to move with very high velocity, with very high velocity, Gia G, I'm going to explain, my dear friends. Just wait for some time. Let me do my work. I will explain it and then I'll take your doubt. You have asked a very crucial question that, but sir, mass is constant. That's what we have learned so far. Right now you are saying mass is also not constant. That's too much now. Right? First of all, you guys decide what you want to, what you guys want to teach us. Don't worry. I'm explaining why mass is considered as constant. I'm explaining that. Please understand. If a particular body's velocity is very high, let's take an example of photon. Let's take an example of photon. Photon moves with a speed of light. That means when you are going to find out its mass, you are going to get m naught divided by under root of 1 minus c square by c square. Is that correct? Clear? And this will actually be infinite. Let me rephrase it. Let's say it's not a proton. Let's say it's another body, some another body. Let's not take it as proton, because protons rest mass is 0. Protons rest mass is 0. That's why we call it as massless. But I'm not talking about photon for now. Let's take any body. If any body has got velocity c, it is moving with speed of light. Let's imagine it. I know it is not possible, but let's suppose a particular body is moving with speed of light. C gets cancelled out. 1 minus 1 is 0. Something upon 0 is infinite. That means when a body starts to move, its mass starts to increase. So mass is not constant. Mass is not constant. Mass is not constant. Now I'll take your doubt, Gia. You're saying, but sir, till now we are talking in entire class 11th also nobody has said that mass changes, and no one has never in my life I have seen a question in which mass is changing with respect to velocity. The reason is, my dear friend, that the bodies, the V generally V is far more less than C. You all are agreeing with me? V is far more less than C. Very small than C. That means this number is very small than 1. That means this thing is close to 1. Under root of 1 is 1. That means even if a body moves, m dash is nearly equals to m naught. Got it? Clear? Speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And even the rockets that you launch into the space have escape velocity of 11 kilometer per second. That means 11 into 10 to the power 3. 10 to the power 3. I am talking about 10 to the power 8. And then I am squaring it. That means in this case also, V square upon C square is very small. So in your entire kinematics, entire dynamics, entire mechanics, wherever you have seen, V square by C square was very small, almost approaching to 0, and 1 minus almost approaching to 0 is 1. That means m dash is equals to m naught, and this is not in course. No. Please understand. First of all, let me also tell you something now. Hold on. It's not that I'm going to explain. If I've started this topic today, I'm not going to explain it tomorrow. It's not like that. Physics does not work like that. Physics is not information. Physics is about learning new things. And then if you are not understanding it, first of all, let me write something for you. If I'm writing something on board and you're not getting it, that means I'm doing my work properly. Because I'm trying to push your boundaries. I'm trying to challenge you. The day you are learning physics and the first class you are seeing, sir, everything is super sorted. Physics is very simple. That means that you are not learning physics. You are learning everything but not physics. All of these things require you to revise after the class, to think about stuff. Physics is not like I'm going to explain from 6:30 to 7:30 and you will get physics. Sorry. It's not like that. Physics starts when you are going to think about concepts, when you are going to think about situation. Sometimes what happens is that I generally speak too fast, right? And I'm speaking and you are just looking at a chipkali, and you have seen here, I said, sir, what is this? What is this, sir? This is generally what happened with me when I was learning maths. And I used to see here, and then sir has suddenly filled the entire board. And now I'm saying where the hell this sine theta has came from, right? So please understand, in physics class, it is very normal that in my physics class at least, this is what going to happen, that we are going to challenge ourselves, because right now we are in class 12th. We can easily manage class 11th. Next year we can easily appear for NEET and we are going to crack it. But what you need to do is, you need to, after every class, you need to have a doubt copy with you. You need to write down things and very rarely come back to my recording, very rarely, because I don't want to, I don't want you to waste a lot of time in watching recordings again and again. Again come back to recording and hear what I am trying to say. Now I'll repeat, don't worry. Also I am going to give you one very special trick and a tip. After every 2 hours, if you are learning physics, 2 hours of physics is too much for your brain to handle. I mean, for me also, I am not some like prodigy type of a thing, right? After 10 minutes, keep your pen down, close your copy, don't use phone, do not use your brain, just take a walk. Just take a walk, and do not think about motion, do not think about mass, do not think about why Einstein has born, do not think about all of these things. Just keep your brain shut, keep your pen down, go for a walk, right? Breathe, come back after 10 minutes, open your book, study for another 1 hour, 1.5 hour, then take a bigger break of 30 minutes. This is how you must study, right? Do not do anything in that break. Do not think, yes, sir, I have got like now 10 minutes, I'll learn this jingle of chemistry. I'll learn this jingle of biology. No. Silence. Do not do anything. Do not worry about life. Come back and then study. Because your brain is also a muscle. It gets tired, right? If you learn, if you'll think today I'm going to complete mechanics, it's not going to work, right? Physics is a good subject. You should learn it properly and you should give some time to yourself. Alright. Now I'll explain this and I'll conclude today's class because we have already stretched it. What I was trying to say is, and sometimes when if so much of thing is written on the board, na, things look very bad. Let's clean our slate. What I was trying to say is, my dear friends, that mass of a body increases with speed. That means if I have got 1 kilogram of body and it is at rest, then this will be called as its rest mass. And if this 1 kg of body is moving with very high velocity, my dear friends, very high velocity, then its mass can be written as 1.0001 kilogram. Are you getting it what I am trying to say? But it will increase. It will increase. It will increase. So if something is moving with speed of light, so I mean if something is moving with speed of light or something is moving with very high velocity, we must have a formula. So this is that formula. But this formula is not in course. So why are you teaching it, sir? I am teaching it so that you can relate to it. You can relate it. You can understand how this is how things work, and thank God this is not in course. Right? Now, Jia has asked a very nice question. A very nice question she has raised. She has said, but sir, in our entire academics, we have said mass is constant. How is that possible? That is possible because nothing moves close to speed of light. Nothing moves close to speed of light. Sajid is saying, first time I want the class. Sajid is saying, first time I want the class to continue in online class. That's a very big compliment for me. Thank you so much, Sajid. And I'll try my best, and I am assuring you this is what I'm going to keep for the other classes also. The class is so interesting. I want to hear it more, sir. But bad news that we will have to end it now, right? But see, today I have, for the first part of the class, we have talked about different things. From tomorrow, I'll keep that portion very less. As promised, 99% will be devoted to your study. I am also going to devote myself to your journey for next 1 year, at least for next 1 year. I'm going to devote myself to you, right? And then we are going to keep on talking about things like this. I'm going to give you some homework. Today, I wanted us to solve many questions. It's not like that I have not brought questions to you. I have brought many questions, but we have not reached till there. But still, I have got some easy questions. It's about friction and all. But now we are going to talk about these. See, I have brought questions from H.C. Verma, right? So this is my responsibility that when I am going to bring questions, I am also going to bring questions from different sorts of books so that you can understand it. Please answer me. I am so sorry, Devanshi, I missed your doubt. Please rewrite it again. Amazing class. Thank you so much. Sir, about today's class, what should I revise or study? Keep it light. Keep it light. Do your today's task. Revise whatever I have done, right? Do not burden yourself. Come back tomorrow. Again, if let's suppose if you are free any day, don't worry, don't burden yourself. Do your that day task and then come back tomorrow. Thanks for this beautiful class. I'm very happy and you're very great in English lecture. Thank you, Alok. Thank you so much. First time I'm loving physics. Ziauddin, thank you so much. Can we get all of those questions? Okay, fine. I'll keep all of these questions in the PPT. You will get all of these questions. Yes. You're absolutely correct. About Pratham, you're absolutely correct about energy also. You're saying you're dull in physics, no problem. I'll give you some motivation. I'll give you some tonic, right? That's my job to do. I'll do that. Thank you so much. Please send us some homework questions. See, let's keep it light. Today was a we have talked only about basic properties of charges. Tomorrow is my class. We'll come back with lots of numericals on Coulomb's law tomorrow. So don't worry, keep it light. Have a really good night. Let's come back tomorrow. Don't worry about today. All right. All right, thank you so much, Nandini. Devanshini, sir, what tomorrow class time? Same time, my dear, 6:30 to 6 p.m. to 7:30. And for chemistry, I think it's from 4 p.m. to 5:30. I do, but I don't love physics. I think you would make me fall in love with physics. That's what's going to happen. And physics is going to be really happy. Sir, I have only read NCERT book and state board book. Is it enough? NCERT is a very nice book. Let me tell you. NCERT is a very nicely written book. Never found a good physics sir who teaches in English. So thank you. Thanks to you for attending this lecture. Right? It has been 2 hours. Thank you so much. And I'm going to keep my promises. Right? You guys need to keep your promises. And let's live 1 year together, and then you guys will be onto your path on becoming doctors, and I'll stay here. All right. Thank you so much, my dear friends. I'll keep these questions in my PPT, but I want you to have a really good night right now. Don't burden yourself. Tomorrow I'll start again. We'll start after basic properties of charge. We are going to do Coulomb's law, and then numericals will start. All right. So thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maheen. Thank you. And I'm so sorry if I've missed your chat. That's not a deliberate thing. NCERT book name. NCERT book name is, I think, NCERT book name. I don't know if it comes with a name. Sir, should I be fully independent? I am so sorry. The chat has gone here. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. A very good night to all of you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye to all YouTube students also. I'm so sorry I couldn't see your chats in today's class. Bye. About book recommendation, I'll again talk about book recommendation, but as for today, it's DC Pandey. I like that book. Physics, okay, physics is your favorite subject. Good, very good, Manya. Okay, Rishika, Tata, bye-bye. No. From tomorrow, every day you'll have 2 classes. Every day you'll have 2 classes. Thank you, Harshita, bye. How should I see PPT? Sai, you can see the PPT through on your app. Just today after this class, after 5 minutes, just go through the app. You're going to find each and everything over there. Every day 2 classes. Today is the first day we have started with physics. Every day you're going to have 2 classes. Thank you so much. Kawao, hi. Thank you so much, Kawao. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night. I have a physics hack book. I'm hearing it for the first time. I never took interest in physics, but today I'm feeling happiest to study physics. Thank you so much, Kashish. We'll stay on this. Thank you so much. Okay, bye. Should I clear my 11th backlog? My dear friends, I'll keep 10 minutes for my tomorrow class. Yes, only Nisha, I'm so sorry, but I'll speak only in English. I really can't speak in Hindi, although my first language is Hindi, but I can't do that. NCERT Fingertips is, I believe, a good book. Harry, 1.5 hour per class, that's right. Bye. I think physics is my favorite subject. Thank you, Devanshi. Although, please, we have to love all 3 subjects. But if not love, then please don't hate any particular subject, right? It's like a tripod, as I've said. Can you give a brief explanation of each and one formula, like where it can be used? That's what I'm going to do using mind maps after, not after every class, but I will do that. Don't worry, I will do that. All right, my dear friends. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care. Now I'm ending the class. I'm sorry if I have missed any doubts from you, right? Thank you, Rakhi. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Can I get, yes, you're going to get recordings of these classes. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you so much. Bye, 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 bye. I said for 11th, I'm going to, tomorrow I'll let you know how to cover your 11th class, how to clear your backlogs from 11th class. In tomorrow's class, I'll take some 15 minutes and I'll explain it to you, right? Okay, bye. Bye, Mahin, Swapna. Good. Bye-bye. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow. All right. Bye.